Hello everyone. In our previous tutorial, we built a complete JWT authentication system using Angular 20 and .NET Web API as a backend. In that tutorial, we implemented access token, refresh token, login and secure API call. Today we are going to take a step further. We are going to implement OAuth 2.0 specifically using Google Login and integrate it into the same Angular 20 .NET Web API project. So in this video, we shall see how to configure Google OAuth in the Google Cloud Console, how to set up Angular OAuth to OpenID Connect, how to validate Google ID token safely on the .NET backend, how to handle routing and redirect callback in Angular, how to store token, show the current user in the UI and implement logout, and finally, how to test the whole flow in the browser. Before we jump into the code, let's first understand what is OAuth 2.0. What is OAuth 2.0? OAuth 2.0, which is Open Authorization, is an authorization framework that allows users to log into your application using accounts from trusted providers like Google, Facebook, Microsoft, and GitHub, etc. So, OAuth is a secure way to allow third-party application to access your user data without sharing password. Imagine you want users to log into your application, but you don't want the headache of managing passwords, forget password flows, email verification, and security risks. So OAuth solves this by letting Google or other trusted providers handle all that. So it prevents application from storing password. It also limits what an application can do with your data and supports secure single sign-on. Okay, let's see how OAuth 2.0 works. First of all, user clicks login with Google. You may have a Google button on your login page like this. Your application redirects the user to Google's login page. Google authenticates the user. Google sends back a secure token. Now your backend verifies that token and creates its own JWT access and refresh token. Finally, your front end uses your own JWT token to access API. For the last 2 points, it is not always necessary to generate your own JWT access and refresh token. You can directly pass user information received from your trusted provider, in this case Google, to your front end with your OAuth Google token. But in our application, we chose to do it because we store additional information in the database. So we generate our own JWT and refresh token so that we can embed our own custom data and manage user sessions more securely in our system, right? Okay, now let's jump into the code for its implementation. Okay, for this OAuth 2.0 implementation, we are going to use the same Angular project and same .NET Web API project, which we created in our previous tutorial. So if you have already followed that tutorial, you will be able to continue smoothly from where we left off. Alright, before we start implementing OAuth 2.0 in our Angular and .NET Web API project, the very first thing we need to do is to get our client ID and client secret from Google. These two values basically identify your application to Google. Go to Google Cloud Console. Go to your browser. Go to google.com. Search Google Cloud Console. Click on Google Cloud Console. It will show you interface like this. Here I already have created a project, but I will create a new project from scratch. So click on it. Here you have new project. Click on it. I give it name something like my OAuth app. Click on create. Select the newly created project. Now we have left menu here. Go to API and services and click on credentials. Click on create credentials. OAuth client ID. Now Google will ask you to configure an OAuth consent screen first. So click on it to get started. Add your app name and support email. I give it name like my auth demo and select my support user email. Click on next. Click on create. From audience, you can select external and click on next. Add contact information like add my email address and click on next. I agree. Google API services user data policy. Click on continue and click on create. So here it says you haven't configured any OAuth client for this project yet. So click on create OAuth client. Here select the web application. Give any name to this OAuth client. For example, I give my web client. Its description is written under it. The name of your OAuth 2.0 client. This name is only used to identify the client in the console and will not be shown to end users, right? Now we have authorized JavaScript origins and authorized redirect URIs. Authorized JavaScript origins. This is basically base URL where your front end application is running. For example, in development or Angular app running on this URL. Localhost 4200 port number. Copy it, click on add URI and paste it here. Remove slash from the URL. Now we have authorized redirect URI. This is the URL where Google will send the user back after login. I mean, after the user click allow on Google's consent screen, Google redirects the user to a URL in your application. We will see this in the next part of tutorial. So for now, I provide this URL here, localhost sign in Google. Click on create. Okay, it has created client ID and client secret. So we save it to somewhere for later use. This is our client ID and copy it. It's our client secret. Click on OK. Now your application is officially registered with Google. Now you have the credentials needed to start the OAuth 2.0 authentication flow. Now we shall plug these values into our Angular application and backend and start the actual OAuth 2.0 implementation, right? Okay, now we go back to our Angular project and start implementing OAuth 2.0 integration. The very first thing we need is an OAuth client library that helps Angular communicate with external identity providers like Google. So we are going to install a package called Angular OAuth 2 OIDC. This library makes our life much easier because it already supports all the important OAuth 2.0 and OpenID Connect flows. So by this library, everything is handled internally in a secure way. Just to explain, OpenID Connect is an identity layer built on top of OAuth 2.0 that allows applications to authenticate user and obtain basic profile information in a secure and standardized way, right? So let's install it. We open a new terminal, give command something like npm install angular OAuth 2 OIDC. Hit enter. This is the only package we need on the front end to enable Google login through OAuth 2.0. Once it's installed, we shall configure OAuth setup and then connect it with our login button, right? Okay, the next thing we need to do is set up our Google OAuth configuration. So we go to app auth directory, right click, new file, and give it name like Google Auth config ts. Inside this file, we add this content. So first we import auth config. So we can define all settings that the OAuth library needs to connect with the Google. Now inside this Google Auth config, we have issuer. This tells our application who the identity provider is. I mean, issuer basically means who is going to authenticate the user. In this case, it's Google. Then we have strict discovery document validation false. This disable strict validation. I mean, it will avoid unnecessary validation errors. Then we have redirect URI. This is the URL Google will redirect back to after the user logs in, right? It is the same URL which we provided here, authorized redirect URI. Then we have client ID. This is your Google client ID that we got from Google Cloud Console. This one. Then we have scope, OpenID profile, email. These are permissions we are requesting. We are requesting OpenID required for OAuth 2.0 login, basic profile details, email, the user's Google email address. Then we have custom UID param, prompt, select account. This ensures Google always asks the user to choose an account. Otherwise, Google may automatically log into the latest selected account. For example, when you will click on continue with Google button, it will redirect to you Google login page. And then we have show debug information too. This is just for development. It prints detailed logs in the console so we can see what is happening behind the scene during login. So this configuration file tells OAuth library everything it needs to talk to Google. Okay, now our Google OAuth config file is ready. The next step is to connect it with our Angular application so that OAuth library can actually work. So I go to app.config.ts and import provide OAuth client. from Angular OAuth library. Provide OAuth client is the new Angular way of registering global OAuth configuration for the entire application. So this function tells Angular, hey, we are using OAuth 2.0. Initialize the OAuth service, load the discovery document, and prepare everything for authentication. Right? So we shall add it inside the provider array like this. Okay, now we open auth service to make few changes for OAuth 2.0. This is a service that handles all authentication in our application. Earlier, it was only managing username, password, login, and JWT access and refresh token. But now we are extending it to also support OAuth 2.0. First, at the top of our service, we import OAuth service from the library and also import Google Auth config. This service is the heart of Angular OAuth. It handles redirecting the user to Google, read the user token, return, and managing the OAuth session. Now, inside the constructor, we inject OAuth service and configure it with our Google settings. Under the constructor, this is our normal login, JWT access and refresh token, JWT access and refresh token implementation. Here we will be making OAuth related changes. We add a method Google login. This trigger actual OAuth flow. It opens Google's login screen and asks the user to authenticate. Now we add code for handling Google redirect. We add method type async process Google login and add our Angular code like this. This part runs when our Angular app loads. It checks if Google sent us back an ID token after login. Load discovery document and try login actually loads Google's OAuth endpoints and check if a token is present after redirect. If user did not log in using Google, we exit. Then we have get ID token. This is the Google issued identity token containing user's Google profile. Okay, in this line, we send ID token to backend or .NET Core Web API. Backend verifies it with Google. If valid, backend creates our own JWT access and refresh token, right? We will create this endpoint in our backend in later part of this tutorial. Next, we will add another method get current user. Inside it, we add code like this. First, we get our access token from local storage. Then we decode our JWT token and store in this payload variable. Then we extract username and role from this payload. We will use this information to display on the home page for all the login users, right? Okay, next we need to add Google login button. For this, we go to login.html and add our continue with Google button under this form closing tag. Let's save it. Okay, this is our Google login button. But it currently doesn't look very good. So let's add some CSS to improve its look and feel. We go to login.css and add this CSS inside it. Save it, go back to page. Yeah, it looks better. But when I click on it, it's doing nothing. So let's add a click event handler on the button click. So here I go, add click event and call method login with Google. We don't have this method in our login.ts, so add it. So we go to login.ts and add this method. Okay, now we have this method inside it. So inside this method, we will call a method like this dot auth dot Google login. And this is the same method we just added inside auth service a few minutes ago, right? Okay, when we click on continue with Google, it's doing nothing. So let's go to auth service and write a line like this dot auth dot load discovery document. It will load Google's discovery document and then automatically start the login flow. Actually, a discovery document is a JSON file hosted by the OAuth provider like Google that tells your application everything it needs to know to interact with the provider, right? So let's verify now. Click on continue Google. Okay, this time it has redirected to Google login page. Select this account. So it has redirected back to this URL. So we need to add a redirect URL in our application by adding a route for this. But before that, we will create a callback component. So let's create a Google callback component. This component will handle the redirect and process the Google login token. So I give command like ng gcr Google callback component and hit enter. Okay, our callback component has been added. Open its TS file. First we import common module, auth service and router and Angular router. Mark this as standalone too. We import common module for template and we add a template like sign in. Now we inject auth service and Angular router in the constructor. Now we add ng on init method. Inside it we call, now using auth service we call this.auth.process Google login method. We use async with the ng on init. Now we check. So if we have any result, then we will call store token method to store the token and navigate to home page. Otherwise, we will redirect to login page like this, right? Okay, now we need to add a route for this callback in our app.route.ts. Open it and add a new route like path sign in Google like this. This path sign in Google must match the redirect URI we set in Google OR config, right? To this path. So to summarize, in this Google callback component, we call process Google login to let our backend validate the Google ID token and return our JWT token. Then if successful, we store the token locally and navigate user to the home page. Otherwise, we go back to the login page, right? Okay, now we go back to login page and click on continue with Google, select the account, and you can see this time it has redirected to sign in Google URL, which is our callback Google component, this one. But it's still not redirecting to home page because inside this method we are calling process Google login, and in process Google login we are calling our backend API to validate token returned by Google server. But we haven't configured our backend API yet. Okay, so far we are done with our all the front-end changes. Now we need to make changes in our backend API because the backend needs to validate the ID token with Google to make sure it is legitimate, right? And create our own JWT access and refresh token for the application and return this token to Angular so we can store them in local storage and log the user in. So we open our .NET Web API project, click on Solution Explorer, right click on controller, add controller, API empty controller, click on add, give it name like Google Auth controller, click on add. This controller will validate the Google ID token, find or create the user in our database, and generate our own JWT access token and refresh token. But before we write code for this, we must install the required NuGet packages. Otherwise, Google token validation will not work, right? Why we need these packages? Our backend needs to verify the ID token that comes from Google, and this verification must be done securely and officially. For that, Google provides a trusted library. So we need to install these two packages: Google APIS Auth, Microsoft ASP.NET Core Authentication.Google. So we go to Package Manager console and add package .NET add package Microsoft ASP.NET Core Authentication.Google and write command something like .NET add package google.apis.auth and hit enter. Okay, this package is installed. This package allows our backend to validate Google ID tokens using Google's public keys. Okay, now we install the second package, .NET add package Microsoft.asp.NET Core .authentication.google and hit enter. Okay, this package is also installed. Okay, first of all, we add some required dependencies. So for that, we create three variables like application DB context, I configuration, and token service. And we inject these dependencies through constructor injection. Okay, first we add method Google login with endpoint login. This endpoint is called by Angular after Google authentication succeeds, right? Inside it, we add a code like this. We create validate Google token method. We change this method something like this. So what is happening here? We are receiving Google ID token from Angular. Then we pass this Google ID token to validate Google token method. Then this method validate Google ID token using Google's official library. If token is successfully validated, it will return us payload. Payload will have some user basic information, right? So if token is not validated, so this method will return a null. So it means user is not authorized. So at this point, we have a verified Google user, right? Now we check, does this user already exist in our database? So for that, we call this method find or create user by Google ID. So inside this method, we only check if user already exists in our database. If it is not, then create new user and return the user object. Why are we storing this Google user in our database? because this allows us to store user specific roles, permission, and application specific data, right? So now at this point, we have a complete user model here. Now next, we generate our own JWT token, fully controlled by our backend. Now after that, the implementation is same which we done our previous tutorial for JWT token. Now front end will receive access token and refresh token. I mean, this is the same JWT flow we implemented in our previous tutorial. This client ID is the same which we generated at the start of the tutorial. First, we go to a database. We have only one R application user for now, right? There is no Google user in our database. All right. Now, all the coding part is done, both on Angular and .NET Web API. So, let's test the complete OAuth 2.0 flow and see everything works perfectly. First, we need to run our both applications, our .NET Core Web API backend and Angular frontend project. Now I shall open the Angular application in the browser. Here we are on the login page. First, I click on continue with Google. So Angular has redirected us to Google's login page using OAuth 2.0. I shall select my Google account. Our Google successfully authenticates the user. Google redirects us back to our Angular application. And our Google user is successfully logged into our Angular application using OAuth 2.0. Now, Angular can call our backend secured API using our own JWT token. For example, this our product controller is a secure API. So, as our Google user is already authenticated, so I click on this load product secure API and you can see it has loaded the products for this user. So, this confirms our Google OAuth 2.0 integration is working perfectly. Also, we can go back to our database to see if this user is added in database or not, and see this user is created in our database. Now let's see if our application user login is also working fine. So I log out and provide my application user. Click on login, click on continue, and see our application user login is also working perfectly. So now we have our traditional JWT based login using username and password, and alongside that we have successfully implemented OAuth 2.0 using Google login. In both cases, our .NET Core Web API remains in full control, right? That's it for today. If you liked the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to stay updated with more tutorials like this. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching.